I'll wait. I'll wait a second. Monday, 12:15 a.m., ladies and gentlemen. Starting it live from the Midtown studios of WABC. The WABC. The WABC. Like nothing else. The WABC. It is absolutely, positively, without a doubt, the most important, the most incredible, the most critically historic, and this is, I'm not just saying this just for the sake of it, but the most historic AM station there is. I know you may hear this, you may think to yourself, you may have kind of forgotten what AM was. This is a monster. And it's great to be here with you on this particular day, and I hope you're doing solid and splendidly, beautifully and excellently. I hope everybody is with us today. Let me see who is here. First of all, I start to see a few names rolling in. That's why you have to remain subscribed, because this way you'll know what I'm doing. You have to remain subscribed, and I'm so glad you're here, joining us right now. Louis Harper, Ron Barnhill, Fishman, Graham is such a useless swamp creature. The Big Fred, the Big FH, Freddie Haddad Jr., Freddie Haddad Deuce, as we call him on the street. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I despise Lindsey Graham. I despise people who I think are living a lie. Far be it for me to say, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Because if anybody who, if you're not telling me the truth about who you are for something that's obvious, it's like bad tubes. It's like, do you think that I think? It's like Howard Stern. Do you think that I think this is real? Come on, man. I'll go a step further. Fake breast implants, which are kind of redundant. Why are you doing that? They're not real. I've never understood this. Don't get me started. Lindsey Graham makes me sick, viscerally. Sick, viscerally. I'm telling you, I think I know what's going on in the world. I think I know what's happening, and I think I know what's going on. And this man, Gomer, Lady G, is the biggest absolute waste of flesh of anybody I know. Anybody I know. He is absolutely the worst. And why is President Trump? Do you notice anything different about Trump? Do you notice anything about his look, his gait, his walk, the way he seems to be? I mean, does he seem to you to be okay? I'm seeing some changes. And I have learned, and you have learned, and we have learned, that when people over a period of time start to change their affect, their look, their stance, their everything, sometimes it is a sign of other things. But there's a wonderful piece in today's info wars. In fact, it was as of yesterday, I believe. Well, it was the 9th. And if I could, it was written by Preston Bates. And I think this is so good. It says, Donald Trump's first swings at Thomas Massie, Kentucky's maverick patriot, while he embraces Lindsey Graham, the, quote, and this is his words, gay Zionist. They're saying some things. There's somebody named Anonymous News. I don't know if you know this is true. It says that there was, others are claiming some things have happened in the past regarding his own particular life. I don't know about that. But listen, the only thing that's important, and we've learned about people being gay, the only thing is that when it's being used to blackmail you. That's the only time we care about it. Other than that, we don't give a damn about it. But let me read you this. Donald Trump's first swings at Thomas Massie, Kentucky's maverick patriot. How about who loves Massie? How can you not love Massie? I love this guy. The maverick patriot, while he embraces Lindsey Graham, the gay Zionist, again I'm reading this, who stabs him in the back. This fight reveals a president out of touch, swayed by swamp creatures, and risking his legacy. Trump's instincts are golden, but his choices, a mess. Massie's a warrior. He demands Epstein files, fights endless wars, and rejects bloated budgets. His $1.7 million war chest, fueled by grassroots patriots, proves his grit. Numbers USA scored him 93% for battling illegal immigration. He's the king of fighter Trump. He's the king of fighter Trump. Should champion. Oh, excuse me. He's the kind. Pardon me. Oh, I'm reading. He's the kind of fighter Trump should champion. Yet Trump's Kentucky MAGA PAC, stuffed with $2 million, targets Massie for annihilation. Why? Because Massie dares to defy the swamp. And that's why we got to tell the president, what are you doing? Trump's endorsement record is a dumpster fire. He backed Mitt Romney's niece, Ronna McDaniel, who botched RNC's strategy. He praised Mitch McConnell, the establishment's poster boy, despite McConnell's anti-Trump schemes. Now he's cozy with Graham, a flip-flopping hawk who undermines Trump at every turn. Graham pushed for Ukraine aid while Trump preached America first. He voted to certify Biden's 2020 win, spitting on Trump's election. Trump calls him a loyalist. It's laughable. Gomer, I call him Gomer. Gomer's a walking contradiction. He preens as a warhawk, yet whispers globalist talking points. Online buzz from Philip Huang's now deleted article. They're suggesting that maybe there might be some stuff going on with, I don't know, stuff that may prove problematic. I'll let that go. Oh God, my God! I'm not even going to just read this article. There's been some suggestions as to his being closeted or cosseted. Truth or not, it's the kind of chatter that sticks to a man who dodges accountability. Graham's no patriot. He's a swamp chameleon, and Trump's too blind to see it. Chasing Massie could torch Trump's clout. Massie's a folk hero in Kentucky, raising $540,000 in a single quarter against Trump's attacks. A poll shows he's got 19% support in the 2026 primary. But Trump's hand-picked challenger might flop. If Massie wins, Trump looks weak. His base, craving outsiders, will see him as a sellout, not a kingmaker. And Zionist shadows loom large. Graham's a vocal Israel cheerleader, pushing policies that drain American blood and treasure. Trump's support for his screams influence. Swamp advisors and deal makers with no moral compass steer Trump toward the wrong priority. Trump's allies, flush with $2 million, launched the Kentucky MAGA PAC to oust Massie. The top three donors are Miriam Adelson, Paul Singer, and John Paulson, raising suspicion that Massie is being targeted by the Israel lobby. Would that surprise you? Massie, who questions foreign entanglements, threatens their game. Trump's not ideological. He's a deal maker. And these samplings, or swamplings, I should say, exploit that, twisting his gut instincts into globalist traps. Trump's heart beats for America, but his picks betray it. Massie's the patriot, defying DC's corruption. My friends, I'm telling you right now, and I say this again, and I'm telling you, a lot of people are unaware of this, but I'm going to say it again. I am seeing a brand new group of people out there who are, believe it or not, absolutely wasting my time in the real world. And I mentioned the other day, and I've talked to people about this, and I'm listening, and I was, in fact, Mrs. L, I said, listen to this guy. She wasn't familiar with Nick Fuentes. Wasn't familiar with him. So listen to what he says. Just listen. And I picked some good stuff, he has said some stuff before. I think because of his youth, and I think he wants to circle to people. And he talks about black people. It's not black people, it's certain black people who lend itself to what we call black fatigue. And it's something which a lot of people understand. But the bottom line is simply this. We listen to him, and she says, he makes a lot of sense. He says, he makes absolutely a lot of sense. Because the Charlie Kirks and these other people, once they start to make money, they lose soul. Fishman says, at this point, we might as well call it President Kushner. The way these sellouts always worry about Israel before America. It sure seems like that in some cases, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Remember, it is the Israel lobby. It is this current iteration. It is not Judaism. It is not anything anti-Semitic. None of that applies. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that we understand this. Make sure that we understand specifically what it is that we're talking about. Make sure that we grasp totally what we're talking about. There is not a cell in my body. There is not a cell that in any way excludes anyone a priori, ex ante, because of their religion or their race, sexuality, nothing. You can give me any category you want. You can tell me Russian, Ukrainian, gay, Jew, Ukrainian, black, or whatever it is. Doesn't matter to me. I do not exclude a priori. I do not. I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to put this into words. I do not exclude a priori. I do not do that. I do not. I don't do anything, even remotely similar to that. But it's your performance. And I like Mr. Massie. I like Massie. I like him. And let me just do this. Let me try this one. You're going to like this. Massie, Kentucky. Why is he the real deal when it comes to America First and MAGA, MAGA? Why is he a better and articulate spokesman for that which is the Trump mission? And why does he pose a substantive threat to those people who want to destroy MAGA? I just asked ChatGPT that. Now, ChatGPT has learned my stuff, learned the way I think, and learned the way I'm thinking. And it has come up with some of the greatest stuff I've ever seen in my life. It is so fascinating. Again, I look at this more often than not, to kind of compile from all of the, it kind of learns, what am I lacking, where am I looking? Because I don't know where to go. I don't go to that. Remember, Fox News is going to have nothing about this. If you have any group of people who will not talk about Israel, what's the point? If you have a group of people who will never mention Vietnam, never mention Russia, never mention Ukraine, if you have any group of people that ahead of time has agreed not to side or comment, then what's the point of it? What's the point? What's the point of any of this? It doesn't make any sense. What do we have here? I ask honestly, well-meaning, does anyone know anything about people of the Jewish faith who tunnel in New York City? Who tunnel in New York City? What does that mean? What is that? What does that even mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, what does that even remotely mean? Can anybody tell me what that means? I don't know. Sometimes your writing style, as I've told you, is so fascinating, it leaves me completely confused. Massie doesn't vote for any foreign aid. You cannot be MAGA or American or anything if you are beholden to any other country other than America. Now look at this one. How about this? Who is Thomas Massie? Who is he? A constitutional conservative and libertarian lean. I hate that term, libertarian, because I don't think it means anything. Massie is known for his rigorous study of the Constitution, limited government advocacy, fiscal restraint, and skepticism of federal overreach. Positions rooted in libertarian and Tea Party principles. Remember the Tea Party? Tea Party made a lot of sense. Have you heard how people are going crazy? They're asking right now, I think it's wonderful, that Trump is trying to seek almost a federalization of Washington. That's not good. That's not good. He has a Mr. No reputation. He frequently votes against bills, including those backed by GOP leadership, strengthening his image as a principled contrarian. Why some people see him as a real deal MAGA or America First proponent. Number one, principled independence over party loyalty. Massie's willingness to publicly oppose Trump's military actions, for example, striking Iranian nuclear sites without congressional approval, and major legislative pushes, reinforces his constitutional commitment, even when it bucks party leadership. That has earned him, as many can understand, admiration among voters who value principle over party alignment. Number two, consistent skepticism over expansive executive power. By challenging executive overreach, including Trump's, Massie positioned himself as a defender of constitutional checks and balances, a hallmark of traditional America First principles of sovereignty and restraint. Number three, local, deeply rooted support base. In his conservative district in Kentucky, voters, both Republican and even some Democrats, view Massie as someone who says what he believes even when it's unpopular and respects his integrity over partisan alignment. His presence is a threat to Trump-aligned MAGA forces because independent power is unpredictable. Trump's operation has never been targeting a sitting GOP congressman so openly. Massie's defiance is seen as a threat. His independence sets a precedent that loyalty isn't guaranteed. Number two, escalation of party attacks. MAGA Kentucky, a super PAC aligned with Trump, has launched multiple ad campaigns and plans to spend heavily to defeat Massie in the 2026 GOP primary, signaling an intention to punish dissent and enforce loyalty. Next, he's the flashpoint for GOP ideological division. Massie's stance reflects a broader ideological rift in the GOP, one between loyalty-enforced populism and constitutional conservatism. His resistance crystallizes the challenge to Trump's intra-party unity. And I think it is wonderful. We need more like this. I'm going to say something to you right now. And this is where we might, you might not like this. I am not in any wise, 100% I am not in any way 100% stuck to Trump no matter what. Sorry. I'm not into the CPAC thing. I'm not into the wearing the... I don't fit in. I have absolutely, positively, I am telling you right now, I am 100% my own man. I believe in things sometimes that nobody else believes in. I believe in the Constitution to the point where I think I say this, I don't think people really understand what it means. I think they kind of think it's kind of a, maybe they think I'm being kind of corny. It means everything to me. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. I'm not any of that stuff. I believe in issue by issue by issue, and whoever points this out, do it. For the most part, I tend to think that there are some folks who I think best describe what I'm saying, but Trump's foreign policy is mentally retarded. He wants to. I hope he's telling Putin, listen, I'm going to say a lot of shit in public, right? But don't think for a moment I mean it. Okay, all right, because there's no way he cannot understand what Putin is saying. There's no way, no way. There is no way he can possibly not understand what he is talking about with Putin. Putin makes the most sense. You've got to be able to understand what is their point. The reason why they kicked our ass in Vietnam is because we never understood the way they saw anything. Johnny Gillane says, Lindsey Graham will pose as a flip-flopping fish if it means he can maintain his status quo. You're right about that, Johnny, and thank you. He's bought and sold. He is bought and sold by members of the military-industrial complex, the MIC. He is bought and sold by AIPAC. If you don't recognize this, if you have any doubt in your mind, that the Israeli, not the Jewish, but the Israeli lobby is powerful, we're living in a country right now where nobody talks about genocide. And I think genocide is the worst term possible. Whenever you use a term that's incorrect, you spend your time talking about the term and not what's going on. We have a guy running for mayor in New York City, and his name is Zoran Mamani. And Zoran Mamani is a dude who they call a communist. He's not a communist. They call him a socialist, maybe. And we spend our time arguing what he is instead of listening to what he says. Who cares when he says, I want to have free bus, fare, free, okay. Do you care who's saying that? Whether a communist is saying that, whether a socialist, whether a Marxist. If he says, I want there to be no bail, no jail, whatever. I don't care who says it. If they are slaughtering women, children, the elderly, men, women, children, folks, the innocents, slaughtering them in Gaza, slaughtering. I don't care whether you call it genocide, massacre. Does it matter to you? No, but to Abby Martin it does. Oh, no. To Anna Kasparian, these angry. No, you must call it this. Don't give people the chance to argue away what's happening by some definitional discourse. Don't do it. I can't put that. I can't say it any better. I don't know why they're doing it. They talk about this stuff all the time in a way that completely violates every single thing that I stand for. Don't worry about the name. Don't worry about it. Was Hitler National Socialism? Would you stop it? Who cares what he was called? You know what he did? It's the most incredible thing in the world. So what I'm trying to do is I don't fit any party. Now, I'm going to be talking about something at 77 WABC, a story which absolutely drives me so nuts. It's not even funny. Remember Peanut the squirrel? Peanut the squirrel and Frank the raccoon, his front, they were kept on this, and apparently the owners might have a kind of interesting life. I don't know what they do in their own personal life, anyway. But little Peanut, I think he was injured in New York City, so they took him home and they worked on him and helped him. He was sick or injured or whatever it was. So anyway, so they decided to raise Peanut. Somebody somewhere got a hold of it. I don't know, some hard-on, some jerk off, somebody who decided that they didn't like what was going on. They said that you can't keep either a stray animal, a wild animal, a feral animal, such as the squirrel or the raccoon. You can't do that. So what they did was they had this full tilt, crazy, Roger Stone ninja-like raid from the Department of Environmental something or other. These guys who never get to play cops, who have all this equipment, they say, when the hell are we getting on a raid? But they had a raid, and they claimed that little raccoon, Peanut bit through a thick glove, this little squirrel, and then he may have had rabies, and they decapitated this. They executed this little squirrel. They didn't euthanize it, they executed it to basically say, fuck you. That's exactly what it was. To be mean-spirited. Remember the movie The General with Brendan Gleeson? 1998 or something. He played Cahill, this famous Irish kind of criminal, and he would do things like he would sleep in the lobby of the police department. He would do everything in his power to show, obviously, so it's not me, I'm not doing this because here I am doing this. Anyway, make a long story short, he had these pigeons. So either the cops or his rivals or somebody went and they destroyed the pigeons. And his son was crying, and he said, don't let him see you cry. Just laugh and pretend everything's great. We're not going to show them our grief. And to go after a little squirrel, this is more depraved than going after humans. I know, I'm not Mr. Animal rights. Sometimes I think animal rights are just stupid. I think some people are just crazy. But it's sometimes more, how do I say this? It's more symbolic of how treacherous these people are. So anyway, they're suing for $10 million. I hope they get every penny. This is who I am. This is who you are. Leave me alone. The government should augment, should help, should assist. It should never get in the way. It should never be an impediment to freedom. The government is supposed to be our friend. It makes me nuts. Now, is that Republican? I don't know. Liberal, Libertarian? I don't know. These stupid names. But it goes to show you this has got to stop. And that's why the president, I'm not crazy about everything that Trump's doing. I'm not. By the way, I'm sorry to tell you, I think that when it comes to a lot of behavior involving, this is just my opinion, regarding child trafficking and human trafficking, I think they're all talk. They're all bluster. I think they're all yelling and screaming and all this stuff. I think they are absolutely, positively the worst. I don't think their heart's into it. I think they would have put all their money to CPAC, and they want to put money into cute people and smart people, smart-looking people, and attractive people and cool people. There's a lot about Trump that he is being sold. Think about this. Name one person in his cabinet that you're really impressed with. Who? I like Stephen Miller just because of what he says. I don't know what he does, but I think he's kind of like the real deal in terms of focusing what Trump has to do. But name anybody other than Stephen Miller. Who? Who? Who is it? By the way, Edwin, nobody ratted him out because he was a huge Instagram and social media hit. So all you had to do was know what was going on. They've taken Trump out. During the Elon breakup, they slipped us a Donald bot. You know what? Edwin likes all his cabinet. You're kidding me. Pam Bondi? Pam Bondi? Kash Patel? Dan Bongino? What has Tulsi Gabbard done? Why is Tulsi Gabbard telling everybody what she's doing? Why? Why? Why doesn't Marco Rubio? Why is it Lutnick and, oh God, the other fellow? Why is it? Where's Marco Rubio? It's like Trump has his New York faction. Isn't that something? Tulsi Gabbard is all about Tulsi Gabbard. The hair, the look, the way she sits there. God bless her, but come on. Why is she telling everybody what she's doing? Ryan, 7864, says, Lindsey is like most politicians. They cosplay a conservative or liberal for power and their next slot on Sunday shows. Maybe a book deal. Maybe the next cover of Vogue. You're right about that. What does Tulsi Gabbard do other than she is the director of, she's the DNI head. She's not in charge of the CIA. She's not head of the CIA. Why is she talking so much? You like that. You like that because you like the way she looks. You think she's on some podcast. What's the matter with you? First thing I would do is I would say, you will never see me on any kind of show. You will never know who I am. You will never know who I am. I'm going to be so behind the scenes, you're going to say, what the hell's going on? Maybe they'll do an expose on me. Maybe they'll do something. But you like people who are into, you know, this, the way they look, or they're hot, or, and I'm sorry, you know it's true. You think that people who appear on a show, that this is somehow good. You like them. And you like Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino's a little pussy who stood up and said, I've been shaking to my core. They botched this Epstein thing so much. And you like that? You like everybody? What's the matter with you? Who? Look, Bobby Kennedy? Is Bobby Kennedy doing what Bobby Kennedy's supposed to be doing? Is Bobby Kennedy doing what Bobby Kennedy was supposed to do? Answer my question. Let's talk about Bobby. Is he? Is Bobby Kennedy doing what Bobby Kennedy was supposed to do? Is he? Yes or no? What would you think? Bobby Kennedy. What has he done? RFK Jr. is doing well. Doing what? Talking about junk food for EBT? This bullshit about, well, we fry fries in lard. Are you kidding me? Saturated fats? What is he talking about? What has he done? Fruit Loops and Fritos or wherever it is? He's not on the case. Edwin says, yes, he is on the case. He's on the case of nothing. It's been 200 and something days so far. In fact, let me see. So far, we have had, the president has been 202 days. 202 days. What do you think is great? You just like looks or something. You like their attitude. What has he done? What has he done? Has Fauci been brought before anybody? Nope. You know and I know the next time, the next implementation of whatever it is, they're going to do the same thing we did before. Don't be fooled by this. You like Bobby because he does push-ups. What's the matter with you? What has he done? Marty McCary, who was so terrific, he's talking about, we're having now more oranges that we're importing. What? Do you think I'm stupid? Look at me. Do you think I'm stupid? Are you falling for this bullshit? What's the matter with you? RFK will never be able to fight food companies. I didn't want him to go after food companies. I wanted him to go after it by the idea of autism rates and vaccines. Hello? Remember that? Remember that? I don't give a shit about red dye number 3. Fuck it. Pardon my French, I hate to be so crude, but I'm serious. What is the matter with you? Well, I think he's doing a great job. No, he's not. Did they scare him? He won't even talk about who killed his Thane Eugene Caesar, who killed his father. He won't even talk about that. Go after Monsanto and ConAgri. Well, you can go after, you want to go after them? Big Agra? Never. GMOs? Never. Don't you understand what's going on? Bobby is doing much on the vaccine front. What is he doing on the vaccine front? He's not doing anything. Sin, what is he doing? He's the perfect guy to get him in to make it look like he's doing something, and then ask yourself, what is he doing? Let me ask you a question. I don't know whether vaccines in any way are connected with autism. None. I'm not an expert on this. There should be Sartre and Russell tribunals. That's what we... Is he talking about that? No. What precisely are you wanting him to do about vaccines? Listen to what he said when he was a civilian, what the Children's Defense Council was. Did you not remember what he said? Not just thimerosal. The question is there an increase in autism by virtue of not just necessarily the vaccines themselves, but the multiplicity, the frequency, the amount? What is going on here? What is the matter with you people? Grow a pair. You were so tough before, and now you're saying, well, I think he's doing a good job. Don't puss out on me. Hold the president to account. I don't want to see him another damn pharmaceutical commercial on TV. They want folks dependent on drugs. Who gives a shit about the pharmaceuticals on TV? That's a distraction. I don't care about that. I mean, worry about that later. That's the least of our problems. Seriously. That's a limited hangout. You're being told. Have you heard the latest stuff about JFK Jr. being gay? Have you heard all the, oh my God, there's all this wild stuff. I don't want to burst your bubble. You're too nice. And he is being sued by the pharmaceutical companies because of what he's doing. He's not doing anything. These are nothing. No. You are scaring me by how weak you're becoming. How scary it is. In any event, it's 12:53. I got to hurry up. I love yous. I love you being with us, by the way. You are terrific. Fight. Grow a pair. Quit being so... No mercury, no funding. I'm going to keep saying it. I don't know what that means. What, thimerosal? Is that what you're talking about? You're being played as a chump. Come on. This isn't what I wanted. So far, President Trump is where he's this ridiculous war. Anyway, you know what I feel about that. Listen, thank you. Don't forget, follow Lionel Nation, and like. I need 300 likes, ladies and gentlemen, 300 likes for the love of God. I'm pouring my heart out to you. I want to slap you into shape. Get tough, get mean, grow a pair, demand something. They're not scaring the hell out of anybody. Nothing's happening. Nothing. They didn't even get the Epstein story right. You demand more. All right, my friends, have a great and a glorious day. We love you to death. And until we meet again, remember, Monkey's Dead, show's over. Oh, by the way, don't forget, go to 77 WABC now or WABCradio.com. And we'll talk soon. Go now. I'm going to be starting. Anyway, Monkey's Dead, show's over. See you. Dad.